Exactly. We can't. Oh, well, this is awkward
Funsie.
now.
Got him. How we doing? How's everyone doing today? Welcome to episode 9,
It's eight. It's eight.
episode 8. Wow.
Wow, you're killing it.
We skipped last week, Memorial Day, so it threw me off. Shout out Jay Millie's dogs.
What the heck?
Yeah.
And our guest today.
Sorry.
So yeah, how you guys been?
Dude, I hope
hit him with
everyone was super sad that we missed last week.
If you're talking to us, yeah, I was saying to Ben, like, when I first came on, I'm like, dude, it feels like I haven't seen you guys in 2 years. It's crazy how much like you miss just missing one podcast meetup.
Yeah, totally. It's one extra week, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I guess I'll go first because Ben just put it directly on my face.
Bro, I had to check something real quick. That's the thing where when I have controls, it's like I can switch it to someone else. But yeah, might as well go right into your icebreaker. Let's start it up.
Oh, icebreaker? No updates?
Oh, sure. Let's do it.
Dude,
let's
dude.
get updated.
Icebreaker. Here it is.
Dude,
we have no idea what we're doing.
It's been a rush so far.
Dude, we have no idea what we're doing. Like, we missed 1 week and it's all off the rails. Yeah, we'll go with the icebreaker then. Yeah, icebreaker. I want to know what your disc golf toxic trait is. If you have multiple, by all means, please let me know. But yeah, I would love to hear the things that you do and you're like, I'm aware that I do this, but like, why? Like, it kind of just like harms me in the long run.
I can go.
Anything?
Pretty easy for me.
Ben, go first.
Pretty easy for me. I'm just very loud, like all the time. Even like I kind of forget like sometimes tournament, like the difference between tournament and casual. Like, and I'm loud and like if I do bad, yeah, like I'll be like, oh my, but I'm also loud and like, let's go. Like I'll just like, I'll just be loud and be a loud card mate. It's just something I do. It's just who I am naturally, and I think that's eventually, as if I get better, I definitely need to stop being as just outspoken about everything. Like I'm like screaming at my disc like, miss, yes. Like that's how loud I am.
Amazing.
Then that is mine as well, actually.
Yeah.
At
Oh,
tournaments,
really?
At tournaments and like, I mean, just casual playing, I've become so aware that like anytime something good happens, bad happens, I'm cheering for someone. I'm just like, I'm the same way. I'm like, miss, yeah. Or if like someone is acing, dude, I'm gonna freaking run to the basket with them and I'm gonna be, And then there's been multiple times where like someone's hit a crazy putt or aced or whatever, and then on some other fairway, someone like screams at me and it's like, shut up, he's putting. And I'm like, oh, sorry, man. I didn't. How was I supposed to realize? I mean, I should just be quieter. Like I should be quieter, but
You're ripping your shirt off and jumping in a body of water.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's good. I think every card needs a hype man, but that's just me. Like, I enjoy that.
But
Ben
I
and
also
I are
it's
hype
also
men.
on the other side too, like the annoying like where I also complain. So that part's not good at all. Where it's like, it's just, I don't know, it's just how I express my anger to let me move on. Whereas like if I hit a tree, I'll be like, you got to be kidding me. And then
Yeah,
I'll
I think you
step
gotta
off.
let it go in some way. Otherwise, it just eats away at you
But
inside.
I want to do it like where I have like a squishy toy. I don't want to be verbal about the complaints because
I feel you.
people notice it and everyone does it. It's not like everyone does. Most people, I should say,
It would be weird if it's silent.
Yeah,
That's kind of how I feel. But that's mostly because I play
I'm just a
casual.
little too loud about it. I need to be more like under my breath, just like.
That tournament that we played, Ben got quite sad in the middle of our round. The vibes were not fun.
Dude, I was playing so
that.
bad. Dude, that Texas trip, it was great, but I was like the most off I've been in my game ever. Pretty much. I don't even know. It felt so bad. It so much so that it took me like a month and a half of just like constantly working. And now I finally feel like pretty solid again, confident in my throw and my form. But yeah, if I were to tell you like what I was thinking in Dallas, like kind of like what I was doing with my body physically, it's like not even the same thing I'm doing now. It's just like in Dallas, I really think the slippery tee pads the first day there really screwed with my mental, because I'm like, why is my timing so bad? So then that whole tournament I was just trying to fix my timing. So then I came back, tried to fix my timing. And here, I'll give a little tidbit. So I don't know if you guys saw my story. I allegedly hit 500 feet in a field. So that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
But something that's been really helping me is they say it, but I've just been like kind of leading with my like arm and my elbow, like my back arm. Before I would just reach back and come through with my hand. It felt like my hand would be the thing that came through, but now I'm just leading with my elbow, and that brings my left shoulder to like create the lag and make it come before my right shoulder, and then boom. It's hard to explain, but that's something that's been helping me just get a lot more accurate and a lot more power, because it's just like kind of whipping around my body, as opposed to, and it's something I never really did. So that's something that really helped me figure it out, like how to actually do timing, because it's really it's a power thing, but it's also a timing thing where I would reach back, and I don't know, I can't explain it, but yeah.
We should do a video where we see how accurate UDisc actually is, where we measure it with UDisc and then using a rangefinder.
Do you have a rangefinder?
No, I don't. I don't own one.
Because you live near that field that I put a little dirt stumps there in case I ever do get a rangefinder one day. But that's what I was wondering.
Dirt clumps.
I just marked my spot. Like
you have a memorial there for your 500 feet.
Yeah, literally my first.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's so funny. Dude.
I just took my foot and just moved the grass around a little bit to make it was mostly for because I wanted a place to tee off from. That's why. It wasn't really like I guess I could have put a mini, but I just did that. So
hey, all right. Here's Sajko's video idea. We need to test that UDisc is accurate by using a rangefinder. So to do this, we need rangefinders. So Bushnell, we're talking to you right now. Send us some rangefinders, and we'll make a video where we test to see which is superior, UDisc distance or Bushnell distance,
or any rangefinder. I know there's a bunch out there. So
yeah.
Hit us up.
Well, I was just setting it up so Sajko could make the short where we call out Bushnell, and then maybe Bushnell would post it, and then we get.
I don't even know, is Bushnell still like? I don't even know if they're that big in the disc golf anymore. I haven't seen like the Yuli,
no idea.
Like how Yuli.
I'm pretty sure they're still big into it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe not as much advertising on the Pro Tour. I don't know. I haven't heard much about it, honestly. And it's so funny you bring it up. I've been thinking about that. I thought about that recently. I was just like is Bushnell still?
It's probably weird for them, because it's like a thing where players are saying like, I don't think it's fair to use that in tournament. So now Bushnell's probably like, oh, okay, well, we're just gonna see ourselves out like low key,
because it's not allowed in regular golf, right?
I'm
pretty sure
no
it's
idea.
Not
you could say that, and I'd be like, oh, interesting. Okay,
yeah,
for sure.
Maybe in tournament play, yeah, probably not in the pros, but yeah. Speaking of sponsorship, shout out Hooligan Discs. They're the best. They're releasing the cash soon, and it's probably my favorite approach putter to date. So shout out Hooligan Discs. Code Ben10 at checkout. 10% off your order.
Ben10.
Got it. Shout out Armory. Use code JMillie. Get 10% off. Support me. Support them. They have great discs. JMillie. That's the way to do it, dude.
Bro, whoa. Yo.
Hey, yo.
Those dogs are out the cut.
For the listeners,
the dogs are so hype right now.
Are they our guests?
Right now. Yeah, they're
I didn't realize that thing was just open. I thought that was like your office. I didn't realize it was like just like an open. I never seen that.
Yep.
An open window.
Yep. It's open.
Amazing. Josh, do you have hit me with your toxic trait, dude. Unless you want me to go first.
Josh already said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, mine was technically the same as Ben's, which is kind of a lame cop-out. I guess I would say in the tournament, like, I talk the whole time. Like, I'm just going to talk your ear off. Like, that's how I have the most fun and play the best, is when I'm talking and just chilling and having fun.
Dude, that's not toxic at all. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then good. I think to some
You guys
people,
But no,
gotta
I
play
could
together.
definitely. I know some people are
Yeah.
like if they're on the T-pad, like they cannot handle if someone talks at all. Like they are so
Yeah.
in their head
Mhm.
about every little detail that's going on.
I can
Okay, well-
only for me if it's like putting. Like if someone's like talking during putting, it's because I'm a bad putter. Really, that's why.
Yeah.
So it doesn't help me.
I'm sure maybe that's why the vibes got bad in Texas because I might have been talking during Ben's putt or something.
no, dude. It wasn't the putt. It was literally I just couldn't get off the tee. But at last we figured it out. Now
He's back.
my past
Tour
few
next.
rounds have been 950, 940 around there. I actually. Oh, sorry, Sajko. I can go into this later. You still gotta tell yours.
Mine is just, I think in general, whether it's me playing or editing, it's just me overthinking things. So like, I'll like make things as complicated as they need to be. At least in my head, that's what I tell myself. So say it's just like, say if I'm playing, it's like, okay, I could just throw like a stock hyzer, but instead I want to take something flippy, put it on like too much hyzer so that it like pushes, and it's like overcomplicating the shot. It's like the same deal as editing, where it's like, oh, I have so many ideas what I could do with this, and then I'm just like trying a bunch of different things, and I think I just need to know when to just do. Like I know what I have to do, but instead I'm just, yeah, exactly, do less. Like be okay with doing less and thinking less about it, and just doing. Yeah, that's my toxic trait for sure. Just in my head.
In my head.
This is gonna be like that. One time you sang that other song that I didn't know what it was. I mean, I know that song.
You don't know? Oh, I was about to say.
Oh, That's So Raven? Right? Was that what
Yes,
it was?
that's so raisin song.
Boys.
That's So Raisin?
That's so raisin.
We give
The
you
Walmart edition. Ben, where do we go from here?
Dude, I forgot how to pod, man.
Same
Dude,
deal.
this is why we need the notes.
Dude, we got the notes.
We're just scattered. Yeah, we can go just straight into just the OTB Portland Open.
There we go.
Here we go. We had for the Portland Open FPO side. Hold on, let me just pull it up.
A shocking turn of events.
What?
Put my cold take up here now. From last episode.
Yeah, insert.
Oh, about how Paige isn't gonna win?
Yeah.
Oof, that hurts.
Rough.
That hurts.
Well, I said she was going
it's
to
one
win
of
this year. I just said she was going to win later. That she wouldn't turn it around this event.
I'm honestly happy for her that she got injured. It's been her first Elite Series win in 382 days. Shout out Statmando for all these stats. And yeah, she took it down, 26 down. She just played super hot. I think it was the second round and third round, and at that point, she just had to close the book, and she did it. And it's nice to see old Paige, I guess, to put it, for lack of better words, old Paige. What did you guys think and see out there, Sajko?
I mean, it's just nice to see. It's like we talked about Eagle McMahon last time and having to learn how to trust his body again. I think she actually like made a comeback. She's like super fast. I can only imagine being.
It feels like it was super fast, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was her leg, right?
Yeah, it was her ankle. I think snapped in like
Oof,
3 different places.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
Yeah,
that's
it's like the
crucial
thing
to
that
disc golf.
imagine taking you take steps every single day. Like you don't think about it, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, I have to basically learn how to walk again, like a normal person," because like the muscles, I'm sure, just is it atrophy? Is that the word? Sure. They shrink, and you have to grow them again.
Jamie Lee has the MVP entropy in his disc in his hand right now. Actually.
Oh, perfect.
Not the atrophy. Can't confirm.
Yeah, nice to see. Of course, you go to the comments on Instagram when the Disc Golf Pro Tour posts about it, and of course you see people that are like, well, Kristin wasn't in the field, so it doesn't count. It's like, how miserable are you? Like, just let her, just be happy. Like, sure, like, not only is she recovered, she won. Like, that's huge. And it's on a bomber course.
And I mean, it's not like, okay, Kristin wasn't in the field, but she still won. like, okay, if Kristen's in the field, she's maybe beating her. She would still have gotten second.
At
Yeah,
an
believe it.
Elite Series Plus event too, so it's not
Yeah,
like a lot.
I don't know,
Pretty much
man.
everyone
Like,
from the FPO city was here.
Yeah, everyone acts like Kristen has never been beaten by other FPO players before.
yeah.
Like I get it, but
It's because she did have an insane run last year where she like the Grand Slam won all the majors. But yeah, it is nice to see Paige come back. And hopefully, shameless plug, we'll have her on Staggered Stance tonight. Not completely sure yet, but if we do,
that'd be cool.
head over to Staggered Stance for a Paige Pierce interview. If not, then she just wasn't able to make it. So we also have Sophia Donecki tied for first after round 2. Seemingly came out of nowhere.
Have you heard of her before?
Have you?
No.
No,
I
that's
have
what I'm
not.
saying. I think, and then so this was her second event on tour, I'm pretty sure, and her first one was at OTB where she got 14th. So she seems like she's got the sauce. If coming 14th at your first Disc Golf Pro Tour event, that's
pretty crazy.
That's pretty crazy. That is
It's just
pretty crazy.
It's exciting that there are all these players out there that we haven't heard of that all of a sudden pop up. Like last year with Eliezra, and then there was someone like a couple weeks ago, right? That just like
Weatherman
popped off.
Emily
Yeah, Weatherman. Exactly.
Has been playing great. And
I feel like Annika.
Annika Sten. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like she kind of came out of nowhere as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
but
fun.
it's I guess it's tougher when it's like, you know, a European player. Like, yeah, it's seemingly sometimes seems like it, but they're definitely more established. Whereas, you know, if it's someone we haven't heard from, you know, or Canada obviously is not the United States, but still, it's like we probably would have heard of her eventually through the course of disc golf news, whether it was a Canadian event or not. But it seems like this was her first big splash. You know, it's like it's like March Madness, the team that comes out on top that you don't expect. That was a weird analogy, but bear with me. But yeah, she was leading after 2 rounds, which was
that's wild.
Pretty great. And she held her own. She got 3 down in the 3rd round, and then 5 down in the final round. But obviously wasn't enough. Holland Hanley and Paige Pierce beat her out. But still, like Sajko was saying, very cool to see that the FPO field, there's more and more new names. I mean, we got Emily Weatherman coming in 8th. Lisa Fake is a veteran, 8th. Rebecca Cox coming in 7th, another veteran. These people, and then Kat Merch like 4th. These people that to some aren't always at the top and not as prevalent as like the Missy Gannons, the Holland Hanleys, the Own. They're consistently finishing more and more closer to the top, and it's really great to see like just this field just kind of develop where it's like you don't really know what's gonna happen, and it, especially since Kristen's out of the field, it's like I couldn't guess who's gonna win the next whatever. You know, Kristen's always been the easy, just like, all right, we'll pick her. If she doesn't win, then she'll come in like 2nd or 3rd, but it's pretty much an almost guarantee. But it's awesome to see that there's so much parity.
Yeah, as the field develops, there will be more and more people to root for, and that's just exciting. That makes like all these storylines that people are like, you know what, I actually do want to check out live right now. So yeah, cool to see.
Yeah,
Sports growing, man. Sports growing.
And then for the MPO side, we got Gannon
I had to do it at least once.
So he wins the Portland Open by 8 strokes. His 6th major,
Crazy.
elite win, in 2nd in wire-to-wire fashion. He has won both DGPT Plus events this season. And the craziest stat I think of all, hypothetically, if he just, before the round, they said, all right, Gannon, we're going to give you 3 rounds to beat the entire field. you'd probably be like, that's ridiculous. But that's what he did. He had a better score. I think he was like 29 down after 3 rounds. The second place finisher was 25 down after 4 rounds. So like
That's crazy.
he only needed 3 rounds to take it down.
By 4 strokes.
Yes.
Crazy.
Well,
I mean,
he didn't take it down by 8 strokes.
No, if he would have finished after 3 rounds, he would have taken it down by 4 strokes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's insane just for the fact of like, I feel like all we've been talking about recently is how the field is like so tight in MPO right now. And like, it felt like these 10, 8, 12, whatever stroke wins were like of past, like back when Paul Macbeth was crazy, like it felt like we were done with this, and then Gannon just comes out and wins by 8 strokes against like a very, very strong field of players.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's just all the more impressive, and it shows how much farther the pros can get. Because like if he can come out and win by 8 strokes, then probably in 5 years, like the score he shot this year is going to be where the pros are, like at some point, like it's there. People can do it. Like, yeah, he played out of his mind, but honestly, did he play out of his mind? Like he missed some stuff too, so
yeah, no, he's just
just
he's
interesting.
that dog.
Yeah, he's got that dog on him. I mean, just goes to show that Gannon is going to be a top player on tour for the next few years,
Yeah, it's kind of scary to see. Go ahead, Sajko.
Well, I was gonna say, like, yeah, his play was super impressive, but I'm even just impressed with him as a person, because I heard his interview afterwards, and this guy is so good at playing, obviously like playing, and then like when it comes to being professional when he needs to be, he's so well spoken and like hypes up the crowd in the best way possible. But then he also, like, he's goofy, like, in Alden's vlogs and whatnot, in his own personal content, and he appeals to like the more casual, fun side of disc golf. So like he really just appeals to every audience possible, and it's super cool to see because he's so young.
Yeah, no, Gannon's a Gannon's a small guy. I really like Gannon. It's always fun when he comes to town.
He's 19, right?
Yeah, so it's just crazy how, and he's only been playing, I mean, not only, but like 10 years. His mom posted a picture of like, we found a new sport, and it was like in 2014. So I know it's not only, but it's just crazy to see just how good he's gone and how dominant he is as a 19-year, even as a 17, 18-year-old. He was just so good. Yeah, he's like, it seems like he's like a once in a generation type talent, where it's just like he just got it. He just, the disc golf.
Yeah.
He breathes it in, and he just understands it and plays so well. So it's great to see, and I don't know, maybe he'll be the GOAT one day.
Here's an interesting question. Do you think that do you think he's at his peak right now? Like,
no.
So you think he's gonna get better than he is right now?
Yeah. I like you said, next year's course was the pros are gonna shoot that now, or maybe not next year, but the scores keep getting larger and larger, and people are gonna be pushing themselves. And now there's real money to be had and a lot more competition. It's like there's gonna be this extra gear that people put themselves in, where it's not easy to cash anymore. So I think he's gonna get way better. I mean, I think like he's probably, even though he's my friend, so it's like weird, but like he's probably like one of, if not my favorite player, like playing to watch.
Define better though.
Oh, sorry.
Because no, you're good. I was gonna just say, like, define better though, because I mean, how much better can he actually get if he's beating the field by 8 strokes? Maybe like his
9 strokes.
9 strokes there.
No, like I'm saying like that's how he could get better, beating them by 9 strokes. I'm giving you an example.
Well, maybe like his floor will like come up a little bit more, because he kind of has some times where he's maybe like out of, even still, it's like top 10. But really, I mean, is he gonna throw farther? Is he gonna like hit more
Yeah.
putts? Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's just accuracy. I think it's coming to like you said, the accuracy in making putts. It's just hitting your lines more. That's the only thing stopping people from shooting 18 down, is if you hit your lines and make your putts. Anyone at any time could shoot 18 down if they hit their exact line they intended and made the putt. So I think
It's
that's
easy.
the secret.
I mean, like, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but like in my personal opinion, like with how he played at Portland Open, like I think he's at like that shooting, he's at like 90% of his potential. Like I don't think it gets much better than that. You know, like
you're saying like 10 years from now, he's still like at the
dude,
same.
I'm saying he's getting better, but like, you know, beating the field by 9 strokes or just like playing how he did. Like, yeah, he could clean up a few strokes here and there, but no one in our history is ever going to play perfectly. Like, even if the field, like, even if you're playing disc golf for 30 years, just take a look at like regular golf, you know, like those people play their entire lives. And yeah, it takes a little bit more skill maybe, or I don't know. We can get into that discussion at some
It definitely
point.
does.
But no one is performing consistently at that high of a level all the time. Like I see him getting better, but I don't see it being like, oh my gosh, Gannon 10 years ago was like trash and now he's amazing. Like I see it being like, oh yeah, 10 years ago Gannon was like 80-90% of his potential and now he's at 100% of his potential. Cause like I just don't see it being the same as it is now, where like 10 years ago or like, you know, 20 years ago, King Climo takes down however many world championships he does. And now I feel like people make the argument that most of these people nowadays could have beat Kim Climo, you know, like I just don't see that happening.
I think that's a perfect example of why he's going to get better, is because as the times change, you know, we had Bill Russell win like an insane amount of rings, but it was like in a time when there was like 12 teams in the NBA. I think it's the same idea. As disc golf progresses, people are going to get better. It's hard to quantify. You're not going to be able to quantify it. It's just like Gannon beating someone by 1 stroke in 10 years might have been way more impressive than beating them by 8 strokes today, because of just how crazy the field becomes. And I think it's going to keep excelling. I think he's going to be on top of his game. I mean, he's only 19, so it's like he's not even reached his peak. I mean, he has like 11 years to reach his, like, what is it? Is it peak?
Athletic prime?
Yeah, or prime. That's what I'm saying.
Prime.
Yeah, the prime.
Well,
my argument. Sorry.
Go ahead.
You say it.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, with all due respect to Gannon, he's at an age where like his brain is not fully developed yet, and that's why you hear from players all the time, like all these young guns come in and they are just pedal to the metal. They don't think about any of the consequences of their actions. So it's just like, okay, well, this is a birdie chance. Like they don't think about like the roll away or going OB. And I think as you age, you kind of develop like all these experiences that like lay in the back of your head of like, oh, well, last time I played here, this bad thing happened, and then it kind of gets in your head, and then you maybe start to play like a little bit safer over time. So who knows? Like I even, obviously not even the same thing, but like I can only apply my own experience. I feel like my game has come a long way, but at the same time, I feel like I'm a worse player in some manners than I was like a year ago. Like I feel like I could score better a year ago, but I didn't have like all the skills that I do now. So maybe that like, who knows what could happen with Gannon, where like maybe he's gaining all these skills, but I mean the mental side is always something that you have to battle with no matter what your age is.
Yeah, totally. I agree, but I guess my whole point in bringing this up is my opinion is that we are out of the old days of disc golf. Like we're like maybe still on that like coming up time, but we're out of those days. Like we are firmly in the like this is peak disc golf time. Like you're not going to look at this time and be like, oh, the competition was bad. You're not like, I don't think you're ever going to look at this time of disc golf and be like, oh, they were just playing plumbers and, you know, gardeners like you do with the NBA or even, you know, 20, 30 years ago of disc golf. Like, I think we're firmly out of that time. And so in terms of like max potential for players, I think a lot of them are nearing that, if not already at that or past that. And so that's my argument. Who knows? I could be completely wrong and disc golf could just go crazy, but I think we're firmly in it already.
I think it's a good question.
Thank you.
Shoot, anytime.
All right. That was good. I think that was our first like actual kind of debate on the show, which is what people want to hear. So that was...
Yeah, dude. No one wants to hear three guys that are like, I have this opinion, and the other two are just like, I agree. Like that's the most boring podcast ever.
But sometimes, obviously, we don't want to fabricate anything. So like, if we don't like, if
I'm not gonna be just pushing buttons for the sake of pushing buttons.
Yeah,
just being like, you're an idiot, dude.
Kristin Tattar is not the GOAT.
She's not even good.
Well, here's the thing. I said that on the Stagger Sense, and
really?
That Kristin Tattar was the GOAT. And
I'm sure people
Evan
had their opinions.
Evan messaged me and he was like, or our group chat, like, Ben, Kristin Tattar's the GOAT? And then Matt was so they were like, bro, she's not the GOAT. Do you know what the GOAT means? So what do you guys think? Is Kristin the GOAT, or does she?
Who was his GOAT?
Paige Pierce, because their whole argument is basically like, if Kristin were to just not play disc golf ever again, who would you consider the GOAT?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm in the boat of like, she hasn't proven herself yet. You know, like I don't think she's had a couple good seasons, but I don't think she's at the point where you're like, yeah, she's the greatest singular player of all time. I don't think she's there. I think she will be. Like, I don't think there's a world where she stops being this good and doesn't have a historic couple-year run, but I don't think she's there yet.
Yeah, I would agree with you. They're just old heads, you know. They don't understand like this generation just says GOAT for everything, you know. It's like, yo, that's goated. So, yeah, but yeah.
Sajko, what's your opinion?
I would probably agree.
I feel like questions like that are always just perspective based, and that's why you'll always get two people that are just like, you're wrong. No, you're wrong, because it's just however you view it. Because
yeah, totally.
Yeah, and like the modern day, yeah, she's absolutely killing it. And in the disc golf world, you're basically living tournament to tournament where everyone's like, oh my goodness, this person's going to take over. And then the next week someone else wins and they're like, how do we not see this coming? This person's taking over. So I feel like
that
if you
person doesn't matter at all. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's a hard way to make a living where you're just like week to week, you're like, I'm great, I'm trash. I'm great, I'm trash.
Yeah.
So yeah, in terms of longevity.
Public opinion changes like that.
Exactly. In terms of longevity, yeah, it's probably Paige Pierce, but Kristin Tattar, you can't ignore the last few years, and you know, just looking at how she's done, you just apply that to the future. Yeah, so it sounds good, but we have no idea.
Here's my next question: what would it take for you guys for Kristin to be called GOAT within the next however many years? I don't even want to put a time frame on it. But
I honestly think it matters the time frame, man.
All right, her career then, I guess. Like it's just like I don't want to put a time frame where it's like in 5 years where it's like she has to win like 7 worlds, like something nothing crazy, but maybe she 5 years 7 worlds. You never know. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, let's just say let's just say for the rest of her playing time, what do you think she needs to do to get that GOAT status? Does she need to match the world titles that Paige has in the majors? Because I'm pretty sure Paige has 5 world titles and a bunch of majors. I don't know off the top of my head, but yeah. What do you
I mean, if she gets past her with the world titles or majors or whatever, I mean, it's over. Like, she's GOAT status.
But what if it's like 3? What
but
if it's 3 worlds?
If she's just comparable, like if she's comparable, I think she still takes it. You know, like I think she's playing in a more competitive time, and I mean, depending on what happens, showed a higher level of dominance in a more competitive time of disc golf. Right. That would be my opinion, but it kind of just it truly matters on the accolades she would collect. You know, like if she just starts to be able, like if she just collects top 5s and can't finish them, you can't be the GOAT with that. You know, like oh, the next 10 years she gets top 5 in every Worlds, but only wins it once or twice. That's awesome, but I don't know. She can't be my GOAT at that point, right?
Yeah.
Who knows?
So yeah,
what if?
Kristin has 6 majors. I'm just gonna pull up Paige Pierce real quick.
Doesn't she have like 19?
You might be right. I don't know though. Give me a second. Someone start saying something cool. Dun, 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 dun. Oh wait, no, I got it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Listeners are loving
17.
this. This is the counting segment of the podcast.
That's what I thought it was 17. I didn't want to say it because I'm pretty sure that's like the same as Macbeth, so I didn't know if I was like gonna confuse them. But yeah. Anyways, Sajko, what do you think? What does it take for Kristin to be certified GOAT for you?
Yeah, I don't know. Just keep doing what she's doing currently, just winning a lot, and then I just kind of feel it out. There's no quantitative value where I'm like, well, she has reached this level, so compared to this, it's just all feel for me personally. I know it's like the most cop-out lame answer, but yeah, I don't know. I think people like to debate it regardless, and that's what makes it exciting for them.
And that's why we're here.
That's
why we're here.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, it's also interesting to get into the side of like, what is the GOAT? Is it solely, accolades based, or like, is there a level of like dominance, like in a certain time frame where you're like, she just couldn't be touched, like Michael Jordan in his run where it's like he literally just couldn't be touched, like he was winning, no one was stopping him.
Well, that's also
kind of the same vibe with like,
based.
yeah, but like it's different because I mean he won everything, but
Yeah,
like what if
6.
Yeah, but like say he didn't win them in that small amount of time. Like LeBron's titles have been so spread out, but people still make the same GOAT argument. Like were MJ's more impressive because he did it so quickly. Most people consider MJ the GOAT over LeBron, but LeBron's had a longer career.
I think probably it's more to me. I think MJ's like the run is more impressive because he went to a NBA. He went, I think it was 6 straight and just didn't lose to the final. Yeah. So that's very more impressive. But LeBron also has an argument because he's been to a ton of finals. Like it was like there was a time and era when it was LeBron was in the finals. It was either he won or lost. I don't know exactly how many. Let me just.
I think LeBron's been to some crazy number, like 12 or 11 of finals or something like that. But I don't know. I just brought that up to be like,
yeah. He just hasn't won like Jordan. So yeah, I think it's also, I think Jordan's time frame is super impressive, but there's an argument to be made where LeBron's like how often he went, and even though he hasn't won.
Cool.
So he's won 4. He's won 4. So he's lost 6. So that's crazy. That's kind of. Anyways, well, that's why we're here at Funsie. You get LeBron talk, baby. Mm-hmm. And he's almost 40. Shout out LeBron. And Larry. Yeah.
Right, moving on.
Let's move on.
Mavs versus Celtics in the finals, baby. Let's go.
My good Jay Millie. Wait, we have to deviate real quick, Sajko. I'm sorry. Are you a Celtics fan, Sajko? All right. So I'm just kidding.
Bro, I used to like I played basketball growing up and like I enjoyed it, but dude, I'm not gonna pretend like I followed it.
Dude, so if for anyone listening, me and Sajko are from New England, and Jay Millies lives in Dallas, and the Celtics and the Mavericks are in the championship for the NBA title starting Thursday. Yeah, Jay Millie, what do you think? I think the Celtics.
Should we have a bet?
Yeah, let's do it.
Please.
Whoever is the loser has to wear the other team's jersey on the pod in support.
Ooh, I like that.
That means you'd have to buy a jersey.
Yeah.
Or just borrow one from a friend. I don't know. I'm sure I could find someone that has something Celtics related. I guess you guys might not have as many Mavs fans up there, huh?
No,
That'd be
zero.
rare. That'd be rare
I
for
have
sure.
Celtics gear.
Yeah.
No, yeah, let's do that.
We can figure something
Are
out.
you
We
doing
can-
side?
yeah.
No, I like that. I like that. You gotta wear the, and you have to post on your Instagram story.
Story.
Yes. Story. Like after they win, take off the jersey or with you in the jersey saying like sorry guys, had to switch or something, like go Mavs or go Celtics.
Oh gosh. Oh, okay, I'm down, dude.
So you gotta be like you be like you knew it all
Mavs
along.
and
Like you
floor.
gotta act like you were a Mavs fan the whole time.
Got it.
Or a Celtics fan for you.
For me,
Where it was just
yeah.
like a secret. So yeah, let's do that. Shake on it.
Let's
Sajko,
do it.
you in?
Do you think I'm buying a jersey, bro?
Bro, you can borrow. You know, guys. All right, fine. It's just me and
guess.
We'll
Jason.
figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
I like that. But yeah, Celtics are easily going to win. It's no way.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
Kyrie,
Yeah.
he's done for.
It's not like Jason Tatum doesn't like suck in like certain playoff games or whatever.
Yeah, but he's been to enough finals. One.
Yeah. Like it's not like he'll disappear or anything.
All right. Sajko, let's go over to Sajko segment.
Yeah. So like a lot of the points that I have were from a couple weeks ago, but I feel like they still kind of apply and are interesting to talk about. So when I wrote this at the time, I don't know if you guys have like checked out Disc Golf YouTube, but to me, it seemed like it was in kind of a weird place because you had Nate Turner over in Europe, kind of doing like a different style of content. Robbie C was injured, and I think he still kind of is. So he was like not really putting out as much content. And then Broderick, you know, we'll somewhat credit our conversation about, you know, he's kind of like changing up his style, it seems. So I think he was taking some time to figure out what he wanted to do. So at the time he wasn't posting. I think since then he's posted like 2 or 3 videos. So it just seemed like you would look up disc golf and it would just be straight Jomez or disc golf pro tour stuff or foundation. So it seemed like a really odd place where, you know, because like I would watch some disc golf content and I was just like, there's really nothing to watch. So I don't know if you guys noticed that at all, or
I didn't.
or
You weren't
what,
watching
but-
Jay Millie reruns?
well, yeah, dude, I got to get that viewer count up for
Jay
my
Millie.
boy.
What was your latest
Yeah,
video?
man,
The
come
Till,
on.
or you post a new one, Jay Millie?
The latest video is the tilt video.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry to break it to you. I'll get another banger out soon enough.
No, it's all good.
Well,
no,
yes,
I didn't really notice personally. I mean, everyone knows this. I'm a big 18-hole guy. I just like watching the pros play. I don't really watch kind of like amateurs play in any, unless it's like super interesting. And I think that just like comes when you involve kind of, for me at least, the more I got engulfed in the sport, and I've talked to this for a few people, the less I was watching like the foundations or the bonanzas. Like when I first got into the sport, like that's like all I watched, and I don't know why it just switched up. And I'd be curious to see if anyone has a similar experience where it's just like, you know, you kind of just get away from these channels of just like challenge and stuff like that. Maybe it's because it's more just like when you're a beginner, you're just like so like excited about disc golf and you just want to watch everything. Now I'm pretty much only watching obviously Jay Millie.
Well,
No,
yeah.
but I'm just kidding. But now I'm really just pretty much watching, unless it's like super interesting where I want to see like if Bonanza gives an update, like how he cashed on the tour. Like I think that one's super exciting. So I click on that. But for me, I'm just really watching. Most of my time is watching like Pro Tour Live and Jomez and stuff like that.
Well, I was just curious because do you think that like times are changing and everyone's kind of just getting, like creators are getting burnt out of making like essentially the same style of content? Or is it just kind of like happenstance where all these things happen to line up at the same time that made for like what seems like an alteration in like content style?
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I feel like we could be in a spot. I don't know. There's two
Well, I don't
there's
either.
two explanations. I mean, I think you are touching on it, and I think you're touching
Yeah.
on both of them. I think it's either we're at a turning point for a lot of the like bigger disc golf channels, to start making different styles of content. Like definitely for Broderick, it seems like he's trying to switch up what he does and like not necessarily just do disc reviews on every video. His last 3 videos have been about completely different things, and I've really enjoyed them. I think
Which
they're
is
great.
awesome, by the way.
Yeah, they've been awesome. Like I personally think we might just be at a pivot point where like people are realizing that like low lift content is good, but kind of like what Ben's saying, most of the time like you're just going to watch 18 holes from someone that's really crazy good, So if you're not like crazy good, you might need to bring something else to the table, like a good story or like something funny or interesting. And like 18 holes of disc golf from an amateur might just not work as much anymore like it used to. Like something I've noticed that is interesting is I think in the bags are dead. Like I don't think like there was a time when I started playing disc golf that like I wanted to go online and watch it in the bag, and almost every major disc golf manufacturer's top video was an in the bag video.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've seen recently, like it just seems like no one wants to watch it. The YouTube space is oversaturated with in the bag videos, and they're all kind of the same video. And so I think in the bags are just done. Like no one really wants to watch in the bag videos anymore. And so I could see a world where we're just at a spot where, 18 holes of disc golf is still going to be a thing. Like you kind of have to do it, sometimes, especially if you're doing like a tournament coverage, but like this could be a pivot point where we start seeing like more interesting ideas or different things in the disc golf space. But yeah, like you touched on though, it could just be a little like random couple week segment where things are different. People are in a weird spot with their content. I personally just only post 1 video a month right now while I'm still doing other stuff. One day I'll post a video a week.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of where we're all targeting, all 3 of us. This essence of disc golf related, but not performance based, where it's like interesting stories and stuff like that make people kind of want to get entertained at the same time getting their fill of disc golf. That's personally how I've kind of been approaching my content, where it's like really nothing about me per se. It's always about like if you can do this or do that or win this or I posted a recent video we'll get into later, stuff like that, where I'm not really focused too much. If I got better, I think I would start posting, like if I would like posting more like playing and stuff like that. Like Gannon Burr, like he could easily post him playing and he'd get tons and tons of viewers, but I'm not.
Yeah,
of course.
That's interesting that you mentioned that you're trying to take yourself out of the equation, because I'm trying to put myself more into the equation for my videos. Like I think that, like, yeah, I'm trying to tell a story.
I meant like me playing disc golf is what I meant. I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to like make it not about me. That'd be dumb. I meant like disc, like me, how I play disc golf is what I meant. Like taking my less about like, oh, I'm
okay, that makes
923 rated, and here's how I'm gonna attack this. No, it's about like other things.
I thought you were saying that you were making like a conscious effort to do that, but yeah, that clears it up.
No, that makes a little more sense. I mean, I think all of our channels are all about our personality on some level. Like even if we're telling interesting stories that could live by themselves, like people that watch the channel long term, they want to get attached to, I like, they want to be homies with me. They want to be homies with you. They want to be homies with Sajko, and like we want to be their homies too. And that's how you develop a community, So I thought you were literally saying like, I don't want to be in my videos. Like I'm gonna take my personality out. And I was like, dang, that's kind of crazy.
Like if you see when I first posted, they're private now, but it was about like road to 1,000. It was just stuff like that. That's what I was saying, where it's just like, obviously
2000?
I'm still in.
Oh, road to 1,000. Got it.
Yeah, I'm in all my videos and all that, and it's just not about me and how I play is what I was
Yeah.
trying to say.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, got it.
Yeah, I mean, we can transition over now to so that
Yeah,
like,
perfect transition.
yeah, exactly. When you bring up the transition, it's the best one.
Transition. Did you give this track a listen? What is that from?
Cars 2.
No, bro, he's from
Okay.
your home state,
Post
Sajko.
Malone.
Oh wait, no, I have heard that before.
Transition. Did you
But
give it a
yeah,
listen?
we're moving on anyways.
Do you know
AK.
Anthony Fantano? The needle drop?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's him.
No, I know Anthony Fantano.
Yeah, he's from Connecticut. He probably like lives next to
I
you.
I just
Oh, I thought you were
just
talking about my
I
home
just
state.
found that out like 3 or 4 months ago. I had no idea that he was in Connecticut.
Yeah,
Kind of cool.
he just bulls in Connecticut, and he's just a meme and a melon and a
Heck
good
yeah.
guy.
Man's balling out. But yeah, so 2 weeks ago at the time I had done so normally when I upload on Instagram, I was doing once every other day. Occasionally every day, but usually I try to follow once every other day. But then I just decided to, out of nowhere, I was like, okay, what would happen if I tried to upload every day? Because I didn't really put that pressure on myself. My biggest fear in doing something like that is to kind of like anyone that follows me, I didn't want to like burn them out per se. But then at the same time, I didn't want to burn myself out. Like I was afraid of just like doing too much and then being overwhelmed. So
Valid.
yeah, so I decided to upload every day, and then I kind of got like a few sort of interesting like findings out of that. So
Please share.
before when I was uploading every other day, I would say that I kind of averaged around like 100-ish likes, I guess we'll say, and like pretty consistently around that number per reel. And then since I started uploading daily, I noticed that there was like a much larger range. So either videos would do exceptionally better or exceptionally worse, depending. So like I had some that did like very well, and then other ones that were like it's like 50 or yeah, like it just showed like what people really liked and what they didn't.
That's really cool.
The other thing that I noticed is that the followers, like, dude, I was getting followers so much faster. So after at the time I had hit 2,000, and then it was like a week later, I'm at like over 2,100. So like and that like for me,
13.
there you go.
I'm on your
So
account.
like that's not like a lot, obviously, but for me, that was like very fast growth. And I know when you say it out loud, it sounds kind of stupid. It's like, oh, you uploaded more and you got more followers. Like, duh. Well, yeah, but at the same time, like if you upload too much and you burn yourself out, and then you're not uploading for, let's say, like a week or two because you need to just recover, it's not really helping you in the long run, because then it's kind of like, okay, now we just like reset ourselves.
Yeah.
So I think what really matters is being able to upload at a pace that you're able to do on a regular basis. And
Yeah.
I kind of realized that I am able to do it daily, but it kind of like changed how I was approaching videos and like the length of the videos, or just like even the ideas that I came up with for them. Because yeah, at the time when I came up with this, I did like a 10-day challenge, but now there was one day that I missed, but we'll say like 24 straight days ish with like missing one day. And I think I'm going to keep doing it for now, because actually I kind of like it. And I
mean, if you can do it, man, you know?
Yeah. So my kind of question was just like, do you guys ever do things like that where you give yourself like challenges, or just to like keep your content fresh, or do you like push yourself outside your comfort zone? Yeah. Do you guys ever do anything kind of like that, like consciously? Because that's kind of how I approached it. I like chose to do it to like keep it fresh.
First thing I'll say, I think that's why Joseph in another round does so well, because of how constantly he uploads, that like even if one does bad, doesn't matter, another one's up the pipe coming, and that
Yep.
if that one does it does it, I think it is like the key is to, for me at least, to do quality but also quantity. If you can somehow mesh both quality and quantity in like your reels and videos and all that, then obviously posting a lot is gonna like at least for the short form wise, it's gonna really,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
really benefit. So short form, yeah, it's gonna be, because you're always in, like, for lack of better words, in people's faces, and it's gonna be more people, and that's probably why you saw more followers. It's just more people, more buzz around you and your brand. For me, consciously, no, I've never done a self-imposed challenge at all. I've just kind of created content when I thought it was right to. And I think I've always just done that. For me, content, like I've said it before, content isn't like my main thing in disc golf.
Right.
It's just not just something I do because I enjoy it, and it's just something because I want to kind of just bring this something to the disc golf fans that I thought of, and that I'm proud of, that I want to show them. So, but no, I've never really done a self-imposed challenge.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a challenge per se. It could just be things that you're like, what if I try this? Even if it's just for the sake of being curious about.
I've tried separate things, and we'll get to that later about my new video. But Jamie, you go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always trying. I guess I would say most videos I'm trying out new things. Like, to some degree, like I found success. So a lot of times, like, if I found success in one thing, I'm like, okay, I want to replicate that. But my view of content has always been, like, I'm not just looking for views and money and likes and stuff, like, I want to make something that I'm proud of. And so I know some people that make YouTube videos and are like, oh, this works, so this is what we're going to do. And that's just not, like, enjoyable for me. So, like, I see some things works and I definitely incorporate it and use it. But for the most part, I try to make, like, every video, like, I'm trying something weird or different or new, just because that's what I enjoy. And hopefully, eventually people will be like, oh, I can click on a Jay Millie video and expect something, like, different. Like, I'm not going to see the same video I already saw. And I think to some level I do that sometimes just on accident. But I think I try a lot of new things. And then to go off of the like content schedule, self-imposed challenge, my goal is at some point. So right now I post one short a week minimum, and then I post one full-length video a month. Those are like what that is, like, my minimum. Like, I'm doing that because I want to keep growing. I like making videos, and, like, to some level it's to hold me accountable. Like, I have a busy month, I still got to put it out. Like, I still got to figure out a way to do it, because life is going to get busy at some time, and this is what I enjoy doing, so I'm going to do it. But at some point I want to do a short every day. And like, for me, so it's not, I'm not foreseeing it be like, okay, Jay Millie's going to post a short every day for the rest of the time. I'm seeing it be like, well, I don't want to give away my end goal because I don't want someone to do it, but I want to do, like, one of those things that's like, I'm going to post a short until this happens kind of things in the disc golf world. And maybe say, like, I'm going to post a short for 100 days or until this happens or something. Maybe not 100 days, but okay. My goal, I'm going to do a challenge at some point. We'll see when it happens, but I'm going to try to do a short every day and just see what happens. Like, my shorts are pretty high lift. Sometimes they can take upwards of like 10 to 15 hours to knock out. And maybe during that time, I'll figure out a way to, streamline it, 5 hours, 8 hours, 4 hours to an hour, like, and still have the same quality that I embody or want to embody, So I like you sharing your findings. I think that's really interesting. Man, I've had so many findings. I wish some would pop into my head right now that I would be like, here they are, but they're not. That's okay. Right.
Well, the interesting part to me is seeing how you adapt to, like, fulfilling the challenge, because regardless, over time, your content changes just because your interests change, or things that you want to try changes. So even just in that short span, I noticed just like how much my stuff has changed. So yeah, I would look forward to seeing how yours does as well, because kind of like what you mentioned there, my goal in kind of like it will be a reel that I make at some point, or maybe even just like a full blown video, was me trying to. The only goals that I really set for myself were for this year. You heard it here first. Was to upload on a regular schedule, and to make my first dollar in disc golf.
Ooh.
So that has kind of been what the journey is, and then I want to make a video about it and just kind of document it. So
well, you've made $1 now, right?
You've definitely
I did
made
make my first dollar in disc golf.
There we go, baby. And you've found some kind of regular schedule. So now we need to see a video how I accomplished my disc golf accomplishments, or how I accomplished my disc golf goals.
Yep. Yeah, I've peaked, and it's all downhill from here now. No, I'm just
next year Pro Tour.
Isn't it just,
no.
It's just so weird, like actually what we're talking about, just like disc golf content and content creators, like just like on a macro level, just like I would never expected me 10 years ago. So what are you gonna be doing with your life?
That's the coolest part about life.
It's just crazy, just like what we're actually talking about. It's really cool.
If you told me this in high school, I would have been like, freaking nerd, dude. What's he doing?
I don't think I've ever said this to anyone before, but I remember my first job I was working. I think I was like 17 years old at the time. And
with hair?
This kid that I was, with hair, believe it or not. Crazy.
I gotta see
crazy. It's weird at this point. But the kid that I was working with, I was a valet at the time, so we're just waiting for cars to pull up.
That's fire.
And he's like, yeah, dude, I love playing this game, like disc golf. It's pretty sick. And I was like, that's the lamest thing I've ever heard in my life. That is so stupid. Dude, life has a funny way of just like making you the joke, and it just comes full
totally,
circle.
Man. My story is similar to that, but on a completely different level, where you guys would maybe still find it lame. But I remember in junior high, I was like, everyone was on their Minecraft kick, and I was like, Minecraft is the lamest thing I've ever heard of. And then I just got knees deep into Minecraft like 2 years later, and I was like, wow, I am the problem.
You ever make content
after roasting
toxic trait?
I have one video on YouTube. Let's see if you can ever find it.
I can't wait.
You guys will never find it. Literally never.
Oh,
it's not. It doesn't have my. It doesn't have my name attached to it.
All right.
It's out there. I've watched Ben Kitty's YouTube channel. That's not disc golf. I've watched all those videos.
How'd you find that? What the?
Interesting.
I just looked up Ben Kinney.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty easy.
Amazing.
I've also looked at your channel too, Sajko.
Mango Munch?
Oh, like my guitar covers from back in the day?
Yes.
Let's go, dude. Dude, it's so funny because that's just how I started. Like before I even got into a band, I was like, that was why I learned guitar. I remember sitting, another memory, sitting at the dinner table, eating with my family. No one was talking in that moment. And then all of a sudden I was just like, so I bought a guitar today. And they like all look around at each other. They're like, what the heck? This is out of nowhere. They're like, yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. And then like, I just wanted to do it because, yeah, exactly. Like there's a lot of cool songs out there. I just wanted to learn how to play them. Everyone tells you, you got to learn on acoustic. You got to do this. And that's just not fun. Like I dove right in, bought an amp, bought an electric guitar. Like it's same thing with disc golf. Everyone's like, throw a putter first. It's like, just do whatever is fun. If there's something that brings you into it, just do it and enjoy it.
Do it, man. Just do it.
Yeah, just freaking do it, dude.
Just do it, man.
Just wake up, sheeple.
All right.
Sheeple.
Was there anything else you were talking about, Sajko?
Yeah, my last point was about tips and clips, just because we didn't have one this past week, and maybe some of you had noticed. So behind the scenes,
dude, all of our fans were like, "Where is it? Tips and clips."
I think behind the scenes, to pull back the curtain, we are a little bit concerned about giving people advice on videos and kind of making it look like we're like, oh, we're the all-knowing, omniscient beings, and whatever we say, you should follow for sure, because like we know exactly what we're talking about.
Yes,
and that's not what the goal is. The goal is to hopefully inspire people and push them in the correct direction, maybe provide some helpful advice, because when you're just throwing things out on the internet, the only feedback you're getting are likes and the occasional like crappy comment making fun of you or whatever it is. So maybe we don't try to, maybe if it changes, like maybe we try to say what we like about the video. And I don't know. Yeah. What do you guys have any input on that? But yeah,
I mean,
like,
I
please
think
go ahead.
no, say your thing, man.
I was going to say, like, please, like, if you guys have made it this far into the episode, like, please let us know if you want it to continue, because people have willingly, like, they've seen what the content is and they've sent in more videos. But yeah, that's just what our goal is with it. We're not, you don't have to follow anything that we provide for advice, obviously. But yeah, we just want to try to, there's so much space for all these creators and people want to make stuff. We just want to help push people in the right direction. We don't know what we're talking about, but you know, even if we just view things as an audience, you know, we can help provide hopefully something that you can take away from it.
Yeah, like I was just gonna say, like, the biggest thing for us is we want to provide value to you, the viewer, the listener, whatever, when we make this podcast and when we put out those things. And for me, like, when I stepped into the space, I didn't know anything. Like, I had to figure it out from nice people helping me out or myself. And like, I've found some level of success, and like, if I can help spread that to someone else, that's what I want to do. But on no level do I want it to come across as like condescending or like, I've made it, let me help you make it.
Yeah, peasants.
Well, yeah, like not necessarily like that. And so, yeah, like Sajko said, let us know. Is this something you want us to keep doing? I enjoy it. Like, I want to help out on any level. And like, if you message us and say, hey, just tell us what we're doing good, we will tell you what you're doing good and not even talk about the things that we think is bad, if that's what you guys want. You know,
Yeah,
like,
I think
we want to provide value.
I think for me, obviously I've been thinking about this, or I thought about this for a little bit. I think I guess the main reason I was kind of like skeptical is because, like, you know, we were not skeptical, but like A's for Autumn, one of the tips we gave her was, you know, get a tripod. And here I am still posting reels of like my phone in my disc golf bag. So I was like, I don't want people to think I'm this like all knowing like content creator. Like, I only have like 2,000 subscribers. I'm not like this like, but here's where I'm going with this. I think if we just take it as what we would like to see as consumers of disc golf content, I think if we frame it from that perspective, I don't think it'll come off from a bad place, because it comes from a good place in our hearts. We're just saying, like, what did you think of it? We posted to, like, did you enjoy it? I think it is going to be super helpful and useful to people, like Josh was saying, and it will be a great thing. But I don't know, it's just kind of like, you know, these thoughts. We want everyone to feel happy and not think like they're doing this like crappy job. But no, it's just like, we're just trying to help you improve. And I think, but yeah, there you go.
Yeah, this is kind of a situation where we are somewhat trying to take ourselves out of it and give the floor to the video or the content creator that we're featuring in Tips and Clips. So we kind of want it to be about you, the viewer, and not so much about us, but we kind of give our thoughts on it and hopefully get something helpful out of it.
Yeah, man. All right.
Yo, Ben, tell us about your video.
All right, here to wrap up. Unless we have a listener question,
I can do that if you'd like.
No, I'll do mine. I'm just saying.
I do have a listener question.
Okay, cool. So we'll wrap up after this. Basically, my findings I want to talk about. So I posted. I keep saying I post. We'll talk about this later. I posted a video. It was me with my best friend Nick Carl's cousin. And were you guys able to watch it at all?
I did,
yeah.
What'd you think of it?
Different. Yes.
See? Okay.
like I said, you were laughing the whole time, and that is what made me laugh the whole time. I don't know if that's what other people took away from it, but
I don't know.
that's the enjoyment that I got out of it personally.
So that was something I've been teasing for a while, just like how I want to do different content, a different style than what I've done, and what I don't really think has been in disc golf, and that's kind of just like it's kind of like a play on a podcast, but it's more just like focused on like kind of like the like a game side of disc golf and topics like that. So that's something I wanted to experiment with because it was just something I've always had an idea of, and I think it could be really entertaining. And basically, just my main takeaway is I wasn't expecting it to get 2,000 views. I was expecting to get maybe like 200, 300, 400. So to see that it actually had, it wasn't like my best video ever by any means, but to see that it had some sort of traction was really, really cool to see. And I'm definitely going to post more videos like that. Just like, I have a bunch of ideas of just sitting down. Sajko, I have a vision where you're going to be a part of them too. It's just basically like me and then whoever else I want doing like a certain thing having to pertain with disc golf. Think of it like reaction vids, but you're not reacting to anything. Instead, you're like, I don't know, like figuring out something or playing a game or something like that. So that's kind of my plan along with my other things. But so let me know what you guys thought about that. Basically is what I'm trying to say in the comments if you liked that style of content. It was different from anything I've ever posted, but it was much more, I guess, time management. It was much more easier for me to post it and edit it, which means I could post consistently more because I think that's been my biggest struggle is just like these challenges take a while and a lot of effort and going out and they might not even be good and giving out money for something that could be terrible. So so that's all.
No, it's cool.
I appreciate everyone who watched it. I mean, I was it's just basically I wanted to bring it up because I was just very appreciative and it was kind of heartwarming that like, okay, this content at a small scale does sort of work and I'm gonna keep posting it, and that's my future goal, see where that type of content goes. The more sit down type things pertaining with disc golf. I have a bunch of ideas. You'll have to wait and see.
Do you think that it was successful because like that is the niche that you've already established yourself in with Stagger Stance and Funsie, or do you think that it's because that's a like piece of disc golf content that people would like to see?
I think it's a piece of disc golf content that people would like to see. I think it was, like I said, it was something different that no one's really ever posted, in my opinion. I could be wrong, on disc golf, where it's like just a sole sit down video about it was, the title was non-disc golfer guesses pro disc golfers names. And I think that's what I was saying, where I'm trying to not be so much about the playing aspect of disc golf for me, but like something like that, where it's just like a fun little thing. My friend, I thought it was pretty hilarious. I was dying laughing the whole time because it was just his reactions and stuff like that. And it was just an all around just good time. So I think personally, that's kind of a side. It's a different side of disc golf content that I think people will come to enjoy, because I think it's just easy watching. Personally, it's just like, it's just like you turn it on and you see like, oh, let's see what this guy does. And for my future, like there's going to be things you can play along with. Let's just say like, I don't like Sajko trivia. Like that's not going to be one of them, but I'm just saying like I could do a whole episode like we took the Sajko test, or like something like that, or like tier list, tier ranking. Like I have a good idea for that one. So stuff like that. So that's what I'm gonna start doing more and more.
Is there a world where you do something like that with like a pro tour player?
Yeah, there's definitely a world where it's just they gotta come into town. But yeah, like last year I did.
Or you go on tour?
Sheesh. Yeah, but that's the thing. I think right now I'm sowing the seeds now, and this is why we started this podcast. This is why I'm doing all the other things, because everything for me right now is just a 5-year plan. Where 5 years, like hypothetically, if we could like 5 years from now be a super established podcast and literally just only make, let's just say like $800 from a sponsor, because like we earned it, we deserved it, and we split it between us three. That's just like an extra kind of like bonus where it's like, okay, like I can do this for my living and keep doing it. And that's kind of what my long-term plan is. I'm sowing these seeds now to hopefully in the future I can have my expos, my content, and just do full-time disc golf and make a decent, good living. Where like that's my goal for this podcast. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we get like 10,000 15,000 subscribers, but it's gonna take some work. And fortunately we got each other, and we got Sajko making the reels, which again I think is a huge part of the equation. So that's kind of been everything I'm doing now is just kind of but what I'm trying to say is I'm not expecting to reap benefits now. I'm not like, okay, this has to blow up, I have to make money here. I'm doing it because like 5 years from now hopefully something will come of it.
Yeah, I think that's like kind of half the battle is just believing. Like I'm not claiming it the way that I think is correct, but when I start like me putting out these reels, I enjoy doing it, but I'm just like, let's see what happens.
But I'm saying you doing that, you posting that for 5 years, like there's no chance, especially if Instagram is going to be monetized now, like reels, there's no chance you won't be able to make full-time living off disc golf if that's your goal.
Whoa, did they come out and say that?
Yeah, you got a Instagram monetization.
Bro, what? I need to do that.
You got just look it up. I don't really know. I don't know too much about it, but it's definitely a thing.
Whoa.
RIP my YouTube channel.
It says Meta reportedly testing ad break for Instagram, can't skip ads anymore. Yada yada yada. Anyways, you can do more. Instagram is paying some content creator. You can do more research. That was just like something I saw. It wasn't
Sorry,
anything.
Continue.
Yeah, that was just something I saw.
Completely tangent.
But yeah, I think it's like everything. The older I've gone, the more I've realized like everything. You just gotta be in it for like 5 years and make it long term. And I think that's where you really get the fruits and fulfilled, and then it pays off. After 5 years. It
just
really
trust the
pays
process.
off. Trust the process is what I'm trying to say.
That's it. Just keep doing it.
And trying to get
like,
monetized as we speak. Look at him.
Yeah. Yo, the viewer question now.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Cool.
let's wrap it up.
This one comes from Peace Be the Journey. What is your best disc
guy.
golf? What is your best disc golf moment?
I mean, my best disc golf moment, I would say, was when my first full length video got any traction, because kind of my disc golf journey
crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, so how I've talked about my story a little bit. I started posting shorts at the beginning of last year, and I probably posted like 5 to 10 before I posted my first full length video. And I posted 5 to 10 because I was kind of scared to just jump straight into a full length video. So I kind of grinded my first full length video for like maybe a month or so. I really didn't have any expectations. I had found some success on shorts. And so I posted my first full length video, and I was like, you know what? Out in the world, grinded it, got it done. Now I can move on to the next video. I enjoyed it. I'm happy with what I made. That was a win. And then I check back the next day, and at this point on YouTube, I have like sub 100 subscribers. And I check back the next day, and it has like, I think 5,000 or 6,000 views. And I'm like, what is happening?
It's a good feeling.
And then like by the end of the day, it's like, I think it was close to 20 or something like that. And I don't know, it was just a wild feeling to like my first full length video just found as much traction as it did, and now it's sitting at like 300,000 views. And it was literally the first video I ever posted on my YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And it just was so validating so early for me that like this is something I can do, and like at least some people want to watch me and enjoy it enough to, now buy discs that have my stuff or whatever, and just showed me that like this is something I could do. And I love it. I enjoy it. I'm very appreciative, and that is my best disc golf moment.
Yeah, that's so cool. Ben?
Well, this best disc golf moment for me,
Funsie.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I really have like a disc golf playing moment where it's like, I guess my first ace probably was like, it was incredible and the best thing ever. But for me, it was just my first expo.
If you were gonna say ace over the expo, I was gonna be like, are you kidding me?
No, yeah. I was I was giving you like a playing side and then like a full spectrum. But yeah, the expo, just like being so nervous and basically like begging people to come and stuff like that, and not knowing who was going to show up, to having a line of like 100 to maybe 150 people out the door the first day. Like I ran back inside and fist bumped like in a way that I've never felt. Like I just felt this like just passion, and I just went, yes, and it was like probably like one of my proudest moments. And then I like blew that line out of the water the next year for like 500 people in line. So like it's just like, for some reason,
adrenaline moments.
Yeah, for some reason that first expo felt so much more special, and I think it's because I didn't know I could have fell on my face, and I had no idea. I could have let so many people down, and for me not to, it felt so good. For the second expo, that it gave me the confidence, like, all right, like I can do this. So yeah, that first, like, just seeing people lined up the door, it was just like, it's literally like an experience. I don't know. It's like drugs. I don't really know how to explain it to you. I assume it's what people feel when they are on like some type of drugs or something like that, where it's just like this pure euphoria.
Dig that hole. Dig that hole.
What?
Keep talking about
I'm not digging a hole. I'm saying I assume where it's just like that's the high people chase. Where it's just like
it's like people talk about runner's high. You're like,
that's what it felt like. Yeah, it felt like
exactly.
like it was just like something. It was just like just something like, and I don't know. Highly recommend. Go work on something for a year. Work really hard. Not know if it's going to succeed. Everyone, highly recommend to do that.
Yeah. It feels good to not really quite be a cog in the overall machine, and then just kind of like do your own thing, and for it to pay off, it's like,
yes,
yeah.
But it's still so scary. I'm going to Dallas.
Of course,
I'm doing a Dallas Expo. Jay Millie's going to be there.
Dude, I'll try to be there.
Hopefully, but yeah, so it's just crazy.
Live Funsie.
Ooh, we could. This is kind of like a weird, like a random tangent, but it's just crazy, just like how like to in business or in anything, you got to keep going. It's like you get the small victories, but it's like, what's next? And it's like a beautiful thing, but it kind of like also like sucks, where it's just like you got to keep going and going and growing and growing and going and going. And it's just like so scary every time. I think that's the reason it sucks. It's like fear all over again every single time you try and do something new. So it's like, yeah, it's scary.
Well, that's what keeps life exciting. I mean, when you're a kid, every single thing is a new experience, and your mind is blown. You're like, what is that? Oh, and it's just crazy to you. And then I think as you become an adult and you have a routine and you do the same thing every day, which is really easy to do, all the days start to blur together, and you get bored, and you're like, oh, I don't even know what day it is. So trying to find things that you can do that help keep things exciting, and like we talked about, getting out of your comfort zone, like doing those things, like really, really help you to like get new experiences and just feel accomplished or whatever.
Yeah. So that was definitely my prize. All right, Sajko. What about you? You gonna give us a little announcement?
Well, yeah. So last time I told you guys that I was doing some just like some editing for another round, and then as of yesterday, I'm now the social media manager for them.
Ooh.
And
So-
you're leaving Funsie, bro. This is
No.
a farewell.
No.
He's staying, ladies and gentlemen.
No. So yesterday, for the first time, I ended up signing into the Another Round Instagram, and dude, I wanted to throw up. Like immediately. I was just like, it's so overwhelming just to be like, oh my goodness, man. But the one that I posted my first edited thing last night on there, it was Jake Wolf, just like
Yes.
this past week at Portland
That's
Open.
hilarious.
And I will be doing daily uploads. So for those that don't know, Another Round posts 3 to 4 times a day. And I will be posting at the like 7:30, 8 o'clock slot. I don't know if that's,
Ooh,
I don't think that's
prime
quite going to
time.
be like an announced thing per se, because ideally it's not about me. It's about Another Round. And if people don't notice that there's like a change, that's probably
I had
that's
no
probably
idea.
a good thing, honestly.
By the way, I had no idea you edited that.
That's
so that's a good
that's
thing,
kind of
in my opinion.
that's kind of what the goal is. Like, and I'm not trying to make it
I
about
saw it,
me.
thought of you.
Cool.
Rick G, no.
Well, I'm not trying to like take it, obviously, and make it about me. I'm just trying to like take what they do and just kind of do like put my like style on it, I guess, but not.
No,
kinda,
yeah, that's
just, like,
definitely the
come
way to do it.
between. Yeah, like kind of like mold the two while still making it feel familiar. So yeah, I will be uploading
He's growing
daily.
up before our eyes.
When's the first Another Round times Sajko collab, dude?
Time what? Like
Yo,
a
Another
collab?
Round
Yeah, wait,
Oh,
so
like-
times Sajko.
ex Sajko.
Oh,
X.
maybe at some point.
Wait.
What?
Does that mean you can go back and accept all the collabs we did within our round on our Funsie? Come on,
That's not-
Sajko. For the team. For the team.
Um,
Do it for the team.
yeah, it's pretty crazy, but yeah, I feel like I have to say that as my best moment in disc golf, because like I said, I was like,
Congratulations.
dude, I'm gonna
That's
throw
huge.
up right now. So
That's
just like
awesome, dude.
looming over a post for 40 minutes, just being like, is it okay to post? Let me look at this again. Is that cool? Is that
Yeah,
cool?
Yeah,
totally.
Okay,
I feel
cool.
that for sure.
So yeah, just I guess if you're interested for whatever reason, yeah, just the 7:30, 8 o'clock slot. I'll be uploading daily
So-
at that point, and then after the first month, we'll see if anything changes.
So what's the password?
Nice.
All right, thank you guys for tuning into the Funsie podcast.
The password is probably like infinite discs suck
The bird sucks.
with an exclamation point.
Does he not like infinite disc? Or is that
Well,
Oh,
it's
I
direct competitor.
just
like
like
a
selling
retailer.
discs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was talking about
Yeah,
the
sorry.
like the actual plastic. I forgot they also do that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, is that actually it? I think that's everything I got.
Dude, I think so. Yeah,
Well, everyone,
this was fun, dude. We're back in the booth again.
we're back in
Yes,
the
sir.
booth. Thanks for tuning
We're
in.
back, baby.
Hope you enjoy. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, leave a star, DM us. We read all our DMs and we cherish them, and we love you all. And thank you so much for listening. And yeah, you're our day ones. So if you're listening, appreciate you. Funsie.
Thanks, y'all. Let us know about tips and clips.